Well, this was certainly unexpected. In case you somehow missed it, Nintendo has announced a massive delay for Metroid Prime 4, saying that they will be restarting the project and have Retro Studios take point. Here's what we know. Nintendo originally had multiple teams working on this game, possibly to get it out sometime this year, with the teams including several employees from Bandai Namco. Not sure if that had any significance to the delay, but it's worth pointing out. And while we were told that things were going well, Nintendo's Entertainment Planning and Development General Manager Shinya Takahashi came out yesterday to explain that not all was well with the current state of the game. It is also believed and reported by Game Informer that Retro heard about the issues in development and created a demo to pitch their ideas for the game. Management liked the demo enough to move development of the game to the Texas studio under the watch of series producer Kensuke Tanabe. That's what we know for sure, but there are some other things to keep an ear out for. For starters, it was widely speculated and reported that a Metroid Prime trilogy port for the Switch was supposed to be announced at the Game Awards last month. In case you didn't see the broadcast, that didn't happen, leading many in the know to be puzzled. According to Game Informer, the package is done and waiting to be released. With this news, it is likely a planned trilogy port would be delayed to properly drive up hype for Prime 4. I also speculate that it is likely that Prime Trilogy could have been a February game that is missing from Nintendo's current lineup. If you look at the Switch lineup as it is right now, you have major titles in the middle of January and almost nothing until late March with Yoshi's Crafted World. April has 3 Final Fantasy titles releasing in 10, 10-2, and 12, as well as Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen, all of which were announced earlier this month. May is still a possibility, but that also seems like a prime spot for something like a Fire Emblem 3 Houses. In addition, Retro has been rumored to be working on something the past few years for the Switch. The biggest and most persistent rumor is that it is a Star Fox racing game. If true, what happens to that? Does that get moved to a different studio? Is it done to the point where it will release this year? Would this also affect Nintendo's schedule for this year? If it's still something they're working on, would it still be done within Retro itself, pushing back Prime 4 till later? Or was it just something they were toying around with in between projects? We don't know for sure, and might not know until the next investors meeting. And what about a possible Nintendo Direct? Well, I don't think it happens anymore. You saw a lot of announcements happening when the Direct was first rumored, which led me to believe it could happen, but later in the month. With this announcement, this leads me to believe this game was supposed to be the featured game for January. With the delay, Nintendo may not want to push reveals forward and opt for no Direct this month. It's a shame, but ultimately understandable. As for release, I initially had it penciled in as a holiday 2019 spring 2020 release window. However, it seems like we might be looking at holiday 2021 at the earliest. Nintendo's third quarter statements are coming up next week. We could know the full story soon enough, and we might never get answers on some of these things. But I think that Nintendo will be fine in the long run. It may take some time to readjust, but they should be okay. And even if it's not the same Prime team as before, Metroid Prime 4 should be just fine with one singular team working on the project. That's all for this Snap Talk. If you liked what you saw, feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. If you have a different opinion, please let us know in the comments below. I'm Jeff from Some Dirty Arguments, and I'll talk to you soon.